Over the past 20 years, the Manitoba livestock sector has conducted more than 27 research projects costing in excess of $2.3 million in an ongoing effort to improve the storage, handling, and application of manure as fertilizer to farm fields.
Manitoba is a leader in this field, and the industry is very well advanced. The regulations in Manitoba are as strong as anywhere in the world. And because of that, the risk to surface or groundwater pollution is really extremely low in Manitoba.
We need healthy soils to grow our crops, no matter what. We need healthy soils. One of the most ideal ways to get the best soils is incorporating livestock manure into the soil. It's abundant in a number of the nutrients that plants require to grow healthy and grow well.
One of the natural elements required for plant and animal growth is phosphorus. Hog manure tends to be rich in phosphorus, and producers use three main tools to manage it: feed management, in-field management, and advancements in manure handling and storage.
We do use several feed additives. Probably the most well-known is phytase, an enzyme that will reduce the amount of phosphorus that's excreted in the hog manure because the animal is better able to utilize any phosphorus in its feed.
In-field management means producers measure the nutrient values of their manure and also of the soil before manure storages can be emptied or applied to fields.
Whether we're looking at nitrogen or whether we're looking at phosphorus, both of them are determined through an annual soil test.
So when we apply manure on the soil, and in the case of hog manure, 85% of the hog manure in Manitoba is injected just a few centimeters below the surface of the soil. It reduces loss to the air, loss by wind or water, places the manure right where the next year's plant is going to require it.
The vast majority of Manitoba soils are deficient in phosphorus, and our crops generally respond to additional phosphorus in the form of synthetic fertilizer or manure, and those benefits are substantial. But there are very small areas of the province where the phosphorus accumulation is significant and the soils may not be deficient, but those are a relative minority.
Studies conducted by the Manitoba Livestock Manure Management Initiative and the University of Manitoba confirm that 95 of 98 Manitoba municipalities are phosphorus deficient. In the small area where phosphorus is in excess, one solution is to transport excess manure to phosphorus-deficient areas to recycle the nutrients efficiently, which helps to further minimize the risk to ground or surface water.
One of the challenges in transporting raw pig manure is that there's a lot of water used in the process, in washing in the barn, watering the animals, keeping the animals cool with misting, and then just by sheer fact of how we store manure outside, it collects rainwater. And so typically, raw pig manure is 95 or 96% water. And so you can imagine transporting that much water a great distance down the road is quite costly.
Solid-liquid separation using gravitational settling in a two-cell earthen manure storage is the most common solution on Manitoba hog farms.
From the barn, the manure comes and enters a primary cell, which is about 1/3 of the overall volume. The manure comes into this cell, and all of the phosphorus or the solids settle out in the bottom of this cell. There then is a second cell connected to this one, which is 2/3 the volume, and the liquid from the top, or the watery component, flows over into that secondary cell. So basically, in a two-cell system, you've got the primary cell that contains most of the phosphorus, and then a secondary cell that contains nitrogen, but basically no phosphorus. And this creates two very distinct nutrient products that we can put on the field. And so by having two separate products with very different nutrient compositions, we can now be very, very prescriptive in what nutrients we want to put on certain pieces of land.
The Prairie Agricultural Machine Institute has studied separation technologies such as centrifugal force and screen separators in commercial livestock operations in Manitoba.
At PAMI, we looked at some of the aspects of mechanical separation of manure for hog barns as a whole. The technical operation and maintenance is also quite extensive with some of the systems. There are varying degrees of experience and knowledge required in order to operate on a consistent basis to be successful. And that's, I think, one of the challenges as well when you're looking at these systems is the complexity associated with that, and whether a farm operation would have the ongoing support and commitment to operate the system if something were to go wrong, and ability to troubleshoot them if there's issues during operations.
These operational challenges, as well as access to skilled labor, safety concerns, and the significant capital investment required, have proven all 5 mechanical systems tested in Manitoba to be no more effective or efficient at separating manure than gravitational systems.
And in order to maintain operations and keep it a simple and reliable system, the simplicity of a 2-cell lagoon would definitely be a preference from that standpoint, just in terms of the ease of use and overall long-term reliability that I think could be attained through that type of a system compared to a complex mechanical system.
Either using a 2-cell manure storage system or a mechanical separation system, you actually are not removing any of the nutrients from the overall nutrient cycle. The same amount of pounds of nitrogen and phosphorus are still in that storage. It's just a matter of how do you segregate them and then haul them or move them to the appropriate fields.
Methods of handling manure that have worked in other livestock production regions around the world don't necessarily work well here due to Manitoba's unique climate, soil types, watercourses, and topography.
It is very important that we do research on the different types of application technology and tools that are used on the land, simply because we here face different environmental situations. Whether it's the cold, freezing soils that we have over winter time, whether it's the different winds and precipitation patterns that we have, or even just the different soils that we have in Manitoba.
Other manure handling and storage strategies that were studied include precision manure application.
Design has really improved over the last couple of decades to allow us to be more and more precise and to know very exactly what we're doing. GPS allows us to have a complete map of a field at the end of application, and we know any areas that manure may not have gone on. We can see all of that. We can know exactly how much has gone where.
These advances in technology and the research conducted by the livestock sector are a testament to Manitoba farmers' commitment to ensuring environmental sustainability.
One of the things that I enjoy when working with these systems is working with the people and understanding how much people care about the systems and care about livestock production and the animals, making sure it's done sustainably and done well for both the animal and the industry and that environment as a whole.
Farmers, livestock farmers, do not in any way want to remove themselves from the conversation. We're part of the solution. We want to be diligent in doing the very, very best job we possibly can with the best information that we can get all the time.
For more information about the valuable discoveries Manitoba researchers have made on sustainable, beneficial management practices for manure handling, storage, and transportation, please visit manitobapork.com.